Okay, I just posted one that works. That one's not getting blocked. And then if you post it with these words that I'm about to post for you, you should be fine. It gets the same amount of response. This is what I've been testing out. I haven't had anybody post a blue picture for me in probably a month. I've been using this instead. I just posted one that works. It's in the licensed group chat. So if you're on here and you're licensed, you can send it to your people. If you're not in the licensed group chat and I am your trainer, text me and I will send them to you. So we're going to go over a policy this morning. I know I told you I was going to go over the presentation for 2 weeks, but I legitimately am going to have a stroke if I have to keep going over that policy over the same page thing consistently over and over and over again. It's the same every time. I don't know if you figured that out yet or not, Josh, but we'll go over it again this week. But I do want to go through a policy this morning with you guys. So here is the list. Pick one. If you see one that you want to look at, just yell it out. First one I hear.
American Income, the AIL.
American Income Life. This one?
Yeah.
All right. What, Taylor? I don't know. And I didn't even know you were awake. So I'll look in a second. Taylor just yelled down from upstairs. She's like, is there a group one? I'll look in a second. All right. So let's see. Guys, get out your little notes, your notebooks, so you can take notes of what I'm going through here. Taylor, give me a pen, please. Let's see. All right, hang on, guys. Sorry. Oh, check this out, guys. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Taylor, you know what all this is?
What is it?
It's from,
Is it Jim Lord?
yeah, it's my coaching notes from the Gym Lord Summit
Paid $1,000
from 2019, where I paid almost $100,000 to be coached by this guy, which was worth it. But
$100,000.
He said- here, I'll read you some of my notes, okay? Hang on, right here. It says, identify your bottleneck, be honest, and tell yourself why you are not working solely on that one thing. So that's still relevant to business in general. Why aren't you setting appointments to figure it out? Right? Find the bottleneck in your business and blow it up. So pocket your pride and listen. Oh, that Josh, I feel like you like that quote. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that's a Josh quote. Pocket your pride and listen, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's one that you would like. So he says information plus money equals time. So if you can give people information or save them money, you're gonna have more time freedom yourself. Intentionally create your future business. That's good. I can spend a whole day going through all my notes from that. Anyway, that's not why you're on the call this morning. So those are all my notes from like literally 4 years ago of my business coaching. So all right, looking at an American Income Life. I've never looked at this policy, so I'm going to be searching through it just like y'all are. So it's from Waco, Texas. That should be a red flag in and of itself. Anyway, so the American Income Life, the sales force of 4,000 men and women. That's impressive. 4,000. Great. All right. So freedom of choice, funeral benefit plan. Okay. So that's exciting. Let's see. All right. It's a gift certificate of a $2,000 accidental death and dismemberment policy. What a gift. Hang on. AD.
Oh, like to Macy's?
Right. Like what it's Taylor said it's like Macy's or like what is it? Pennies, bucks, or whatever. Macy's money.
I
So
wonder if they were-
$2,000 accidental death and dismemberment gift certificate. That's interesting. All right, let's see. Ellian, you picked a weird one, bro. You went up to the
See, I'm
grind.
sorry. We can switch it if you want to.
No, you're good. Okay, there we go. Insured whole life insurance, $16,200. So y'all should be writing these numbers down that I'm saying out loud because this is what I'm looking for when I'm going through a policy. Spouse's whole life insurance, $20,000. Children's natural death. So natural death, that does not cover unnatural death like a car or something like that. It's like them getting sick and passing away. So 10,000 for child rider, which doesn't even cover everything. Then you've got 18,000 on accidental death for the spouse. Is it? Yeah, 180,000, sorry. 180,000. And then they've got layoff and strike waiver of premium. Their premiums are, is that 91 or 7 or 41? I think that's 91. I'm pretty sure it's 91.70, but we're gonna go down and look again. All right, so they'll pay the face amount of the policy, subject to provisions to the beneficiary at the death. Safe. Notice it says the face amount, which is the death benefit. It's whole life insurance policy. I'm looking for the tables. Y'all should already know what I'm looking for here. All right, so at the end of policy year number 3, okay, so the end of policy year number 3, not year number 1, year number 3, $129. Okay, so after 1 year, or sorry, after 3 years, this policy is worth $129. They're paying $91 a month. Okay, so I don't know about you guys, it's 36 months to equal what 1.5 monthly payments is. Okay, you see the problem here? 20 years into the policy, at the age of 60, there's $4,000 in value. Go to mom, go to mom, go to mom. She's over there. There's $4,000 in value. And the death or the life insurance paid up is $10,000. Okay, this policy is written very confusing. Issued monthly payment is $60.40. The face amount is $16,000, and this guy's 40 years old. This is the most confusing life insurance policy I've looked at in a long time. I'm going to be honest with you guys. So hang on while I kind of figure this out. So he's a 40-year-old male. He's paying $60.40. Oh, you know what? It's probably down here. His wife's cash value. I wonder if that's down here because she's got whole life as well. I'm thinking out loud, guys. I'm sorry. And this is literally how I go through these policies with people, though. So, let's see. All right, so we're just gonna go off what we got here. So I don't understand where this number is coming from. Let me scroll back up a little bit. Let's see. All right, so it says 90/70 for the waiver of premiums for all of these. So we're gonna total up the actual death benefit, which is a total of 16 for the husband, 20 for the wife, and 10,000 for the kids. Okay, so then what I do after that, a very easy way to beat that policy, guys, is to come over here to your Primerica Turbo apps and go to Quick Quotes and pull it up. So let me do that really quick. So pull up Quick Quotes, and then I'm also going to pull up MoneyChimp investment calculator. All right, so they're paying $91.70 a month for this, guys. So again, this is not like the most like hype training. I understand that, but this is I'm good. But what we're going through is what you're gonna see in the field, right? So if I go to my quote machine here, and he is 40. I didn't see an age for her, so we're just gonna assume that they're both 40. Okay, so this might be a hair off, but we're gonna assume that they're both 40 years old. Once this loads, that would be fantastic. There we go. So if we go 40 here, not 140, that would be difficult to get coverage. And then 40 on this one. We'll just assume they're both living in Indiana. I guess that's fine. Non-tobacco, we'll do the female on applicant 2 because he was the primary on the other one. So 40 male. We're going to go the instant issue policy. We're just going to do 150,000. And we'll do a 20-year because that's how long that whole life had until it timed out. So if we did 150,000 on both of them, which is like 6 times the coverage, right? So they might not even want that much coverage. And then if we did 20,000, it's gonna be about the same price, guys. It's a little bit more. It's actually 99, so it's $9 more, but it's far more coverage, right? And that's really like, so if I'm selling this client, I'm not selling on cost to cost value. Like I'm selling on the fact that 15 grand is not enough life insurance for your family and you need more. Right? Like, and so I need you guys to understand what I'm saying, because I think a lot of us, let me rephrase this. I'm very confident that a lot of you guys would get on a call and you'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't beat the price. Yeah, you can't beat the price, but you're comparing a Lamborghini to like a Ford Focus. Like it's not the same, right? They do not have enough coverage right here in this policy. Like put in the Zoom chat real quick, just say me, if you think that $16,000 in coverage is enough for the primary breadwinner of the household to live off of. No, definitely not. Larissa, in one sentence, what do you mean by what about the children? What are you asking? You should be able to unmute.
But maybe because the children were on the other one, so if you add.
Oh yeah, I put 20,000 on the kids. I meant to put 25, sorry. So they had 10,000 on the life insurance policy over there. They've got 25,000 here. So it's actually $11 more. Sorry. Yeah. So we already had the coverage on there, Larissa, just not as much as I usually would put on. So guys, the way that I'm going to sell this policy to this family is like, Mr. and Mrs. Client, you currently only have 16,000 on the spouse on John and 20,000 on Sally, 10,000 on your kids. And that only happens if you pass away when you get sick. It doesn't cover anything else. Yeah, I know you have accidental death and dismemberment, but that really only covers you if you get into an accident and you get dismembered in the accident, not on the way to the hospital, not that you die on the way to the hospital, but you have to die physically during the accident happening for it to pay out. And you guys need to know that that's literally what these things say. Like, I want to back up for 2 seconds on that. So an accidental death and dismemberment policy, like if let's say you get into a car accident, Caleb, and you had an accidental death and dismemberment policy, right? So God forbid something crazy happens, you get into a car accident and you live through the car accident, but you pass away in the ambulance on the way to the hospital, they won't pay out because you're not in, it's not in the accident, it's a result of the accident. So they're not going to pay you out. So you have to understand how these things are worded. And you can see it in those policies. Okay. So anyway, back to this. So Mr. and Mrs. Smith, you guys currently have 16 on John, 20,000 on Sally, and you have a bunch of accidental death and dismemberment policy, which really isn't going to pay out. If it does, great, but you definitely don't want to bank on that, right? Because it's really cheap. So guys, if it's cheap, usually the coverage is cheap for a reason, right? Like y'all get McDonald's food is pretty cheap. It's cheap for a reason, right? You always run to the bathroom right afterwards. So what we can do for you is we can cover you guys with $150,000 in coverage on the same amount of time, 25,000 on all the kids, waiver premium, just like the other one, right? We're going to be able to get you worst case scenario. It's 102 a month, best case scenario. And I drop it down. I show them best case scenario. It's freaking $35 a month for y'all to have your coverage. There's no way that's right. What's happening right now? I think it broke. Yeah, why is it doing that? Total would be 77. Okay, so worst case scenario, we're looking at 102. Best case scenario, it's 77, which is cheaper than what you're paying right now, right? So, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, what we're going to do is run the quote based on the most expensive price. And I hope it comes back better so I can tell you, hey, it's cheaper. But if it doesn't, this still is going to be enough to adequately cover you. And an extra $10 a month isn't going to break the bank, correct? Like, oh yeah, definitely not. Okay, great. So what we are going to do next, right? Remember, guys, that's the transition phrase on the Life app. What we are going to do next.
Dude, Josh was a pro at that.
Yeah, Josh, shout out to Josh who called me in on a Zoom call and closed the Life app while I was there so I could listen. And he freaking killed it.
Pointed is because of the driver's license, and it's not stopping him from putting other KTs on the calendar
Right.
currently until that's forcefully happened.
Yeah, Josh, great job on that appointment the other night, dude. Like your transitions and everything were great. There's no wonder that you were at regional or a division leader before. I'm super pumped for you to get to that regional leader contract here in the next month or two. But so what we're gonna do next, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, right? What we're gonna do next, we're gonna do an application. So did either of you guys go to college? Yes. Okay, great. Where'd you go? Michigan State. Okay, awesome. Did you move on to campus before you got accepted, or did you go all the way through the underwriting or the application process, wait till you got accepted before you moved on? What do you think they always say? Oh, we waited, right? Obviously. So great. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to take the application. $102 is going to go into an escrow account. You're familiar with an escrow account. You just bought a house. Okay, perfect. So during the underwriting process, you guys are going to have $150,000 in coverage on you, $25,000 on the kids. You're going to have medical insurability forever for both you and your kids and your spouse. You're going to have waiver of premium. You have access to the money in the event of a terminal illness, right? So with that, you're going to have access to about 118 grand. And so during this time frame, there's 3 outcomes. Right now, I'm assuming you're going to live longer than the next couple weeks, but let's say that you passed away during the next few weeks, Caleb, your wife's going to get 150,000. Fair? And then vice versa. Okay. Now, I'm sure you guys are going to live beyond that, but the other options is Primerica says, hey, you know what? We actually can't cover you for whatever reason. And if they can't cover you, you're going to get your 102 back. Okay. The next option is that we can cover you. And you say, you know what, Dan, I actually really like paying a lot of money for basically no life insurance. And then great, we'll give you your money back. If that's your choice, go for it. You have your options. Perfect. The next thing is we cover you and it comes back, at the same price or better, which I'm assuming it's going to come back at least at the same price. And then what happens is this escrow payment goes into that first month right there. And it covers month number 1. So you've been covered this whole time off that one payment. Now it goes into effect here. Now you're covered for this whole time. And then you start your monthly payments thereafter. Hopefully this will be down like closer to that $70 number. But again, like we talked about, even if it's 102, if it's actually covering you and your family, that's going to be worth the money for you. So I just need your driver's license. And then John, are you going to be Sally's beneficiary? Yes. Great. Sally, are you John's beneficiary? Yep. Perfect. Okay. What's your address? And then I just start filling out the application. And you're right into there. I notice, guys, not one time did I ever once ask, do you want to get life insurance today? Would you like to apply? No. Do you see value in this? It's implied value, right? They are very clearly in a situation like that, guys. Almost every single time I've been in a situation like that, they are tracking with me. They're nodding. We're having a conversation. I can tell that there's not going to be a whole lot of, but what about this? Or what about that? Or I want to see my policy first. But if you are not trying to compete against a freaking ghost, you'll have the policy with you. I think a lot of us, we want to go for the kill on the life insurance close instead of saying, hey, get your policy and bring it back and let's compare them. Like, let's actually look at it. Right. And I'm really good at closing the business and then getting both policies next to each other and winning there. But if you're not good at getting closed business, just get the policy. How many of you guys got 2 policies for us to look at, for us to review from your homework on Friday? Just put me in the Zoom chat if you got 2. Right? If you did not, I'm assuming that you did not call people and ask and you just threw up some stuff on Facebook and that's it. Right? And I'm just being real. That's probably what happened. I saw a whole lot of posts with not a lot of comments. And that's fine. But guys, I need you guys today. You should call them and ask them, hey, I'm training right now for my life. Like I have my life insurance license or I'm studying for my life insurance license. I'm in the last part of my training because honestly, once you see a couple in real life, you're going to feel confident. But hey, I need to see a couple more policies for life insurance. Look, I know maybe it's a weird question, but would you be willing to let me look at your life insurance policy with my trainer so I can get a little bit of training on how to look at these things? That's it. It's just like setting in a regular appointment, guys. If you call them and you ask them, they're probably going to tell you yes. But if you don't call them, you just post on Facebook and wait for people to come running out of the woods with life insurance policies. Like, here, please destroy this and beat my price and make me switch. It just doesn't happen like that. You have to get good at finding it. Like, you have to go hunt it down. Right? Like Josh, I was telling you, as the leader of your team, you are the one that teaches people how to hunt, right? Your team is the gatherers and you are the hunter. Right. So I'll give you guys a really good example. If y'all recruit 50 people, I'll teach you how to get premium out of those 50 people, right? You guys are gathering, I'm teaching you how to hunt through that, right? But the difference is, Josh, I gathered for 2 years. I'm still gathering. I'm still finding. I'm still gathering more than anyone else on the team right now, which is fine. But because I know where I'm trying to go, right? So it doesn't matter to me. I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just saying that's a fact, right? You have to be good at hunting and gathering. And for a while, you're going to be doing both. But yeah, I was just talking to Elle last night actually about that. I was like, nobody, not once ever in our business has somebody out recruited me. Never, personally, directs. Not one time. If I had a low month, kind of everybody else did, but that's fine. But guys, like I've not once, and I'll challenge you. If I told Ellie, and I said, if you out recruit me, if any one of you personally out recruit me ever, I'll fly you to Tampa. You can stay with us. I'll take you out to dinner. We'll have fun for the weekend. Like, but you got to out recruit me with directs in a 1 month period. And I'm not saying that to be like a jerk. I know that like I'm so competitive and I'm not trying to like compete against you guys necessarily. However, like if that pushes you to go and do something, then go do it because you'll make money from that, right? So you guys just got to learn that. So hey, if you're full-time, your docs need to be filled out tomorrow. We're gonna spend some time going through docs tomorrow. But guys, thanks for hopping on the call this morning. If you need help with anything, have any questions, shoot me a text. Talk to you guys later.